What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the Just Jordane Show. We're here. We're live. We're getting ready to get our show going. And I'm trying to make sure that I get everything properly in line as it's supposed to be, as we're supposed to do on this show. My computer is acting so crazy slow, though. It's very hard for me to be able to get things going. I think it might be the internet, though. It may possibly be the internet. Who knows exactly for sure what the actual cause of all this madness and mayhem may be, but I think it may be the internet's problem. I'm pretty sure that it's the internet problem. But if we're here and we're ready to rock and roll, I think that we're ready to rock and roll, which is a thing that I say very often on this show. But we're going over the dark side of the ring. Y'all see it behind me now. We got dark side of the ring, babies. We got dark side of the rings, and we're going to be talking about the XPW. And here's the thing. I loved ECW, but I did not give one shit about XPW. I do remember seeing New Jack talk about XPW, and I thought that New Jack... I love New Jack. So first of all, New Jack's one of my favorite wrestlers. So fucking tread lightly when you're talking about New Jack. But I love New Jack. And Skynet is taking over. Yeah, I know, Christopher Barclough. I know, it already is taking over. Christopher Barclough, hey, we're watching the Just Jordane Show presented by Slim Jim. Need a little excitement? Snap into a Slim Jim. But I would rather have a sponsorship from Zebra Cakes, honestly. Little Debbie. I would rather have Little Debbie sponsor me with Zebra Cakes and Fancy Cakes. If I could get like a 5 or 6 month supply of Zebra Cakes, dude, that's way better than any bullshit supplement that they're feeding me on Instagram. Any of these bullshit Instagram videos. Oh, I forgot. I have to put up Instagram too. Sorry, guys. Jeez. Instagram peeps are going to be mad because our Instagram peeps are separated from our Facebook peeps. But it is what it is. Oh, hey. Our next show for CZW has been announced, and it is the Redefining Generation. The Redefining Generation. And we're going to be redefining a lot of shit because, guys, I don't know if you guys are aware or not, but I'm one of the best big guys in the fucking business. 100%. And I'm going to prove to you guys I am one of the best motherfucking professional wrestlers that has ever lived. Including big guys and small guys. But the shit that I can do as a big guy, you guys are not going to fucking believe. And I really want you guys to be there. But if you're not, that's okay. This is only the beginning. And I'm going to be showing you guys exactly what the fuck you're missing. Because I have a giant chip on my shoulder. I've been wrestling for 16 years. And I don't make majority of my money from wrestling, guys. I have to do a bunch of different things to make my shit work. But guess what? I'm a smart motherfucker and I can make my shit work. But I want to make it work with wrestling. That's the thing. And I'm very pissed off about that I have been busting my ass for 15 years and I haven't got a goddamn thing from it. So I'm going to be showing you guys a lot of crazy shit. But November 21st, you want to be there in Jersey to be able to see everything. Lori, I want to be there. Lori, if anything, I really want you to be there. Like, I want you and Rick to be there because you guys have been seeing my growth from this point from New England All-Star Wrestling all the way up to CZW, but I've been with CZW a lot longer, guys. I've been with CZW for about 3 years. Now, I've been consistently back with CZW for a year and a half. I was back and forth going because I traveled too much. I travel a lot. I like to get my shit out there. I like to move around. I like to travel. I love that part of the business. I am such a huge fan of. I love being able to just be gone for a weekend, and it's my own mini vacation. It literally is, guys. It's your own mini vacation. Wrestling is the best shit. But you have to be careful because just like, and here we go. And now we're going to get into a little bit of a conversation that we normally, we have had here in the podcast before. But if you guys have noticed that Jon Moxley is going into rehab, and there's a lot of people who are making jokes about that. There's a lot of people who are saying, oh, well, he's got problems. He's not obvious. Look. We all got fucking problems, guys. We all got problems. Just the mere fact that Moxley was able to recognize that he has a problem, especially with the fact that he has children at home, that changes everything. Changes everything in your mind. It changes everything. He realized that his addictions or his lifestyle or whatever you want to call it, a lot of times people say that it's their lifestyle. A lot of people say that it's their whatever. But Jon Moxley is going through a hard time right now because he had to make a decision to stay away from his family to be better for his family. Guys, that is one of the hardest decisions that you can make. You decided that you have to leave your family so that you can be better for your family. Understand the sacrifice that entails. Understand what he has to go through. He can't be around his family anymore. He has to go into rehab. And I get free rehab from WWE if I ever need it, and I hope and pray that I do not need it, and I will do my best in my job to try to stop myself from being to the point to where I need some type of exterior help. But if I do, then I do. It is what it is. And I have hiccups here. Hold on. Sorry, guys. You guys know how I get whenever I start talking loud. Here, I'm going to just go live on Instagram. I'm not going to name it or anything. We're just going to go live, and we're just going to roll. It is what it is. I did forget about Instagram, and I do apologize. My Instagram, I do apologize to my Instagram peeps, but it doesn't look I have. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, there we go. So we're back on Instagram now. So one of the more important things that I want us to be able to pull out from this conversation, and you guys are more than welcome to put your own 2 cents into this situation. And Jimmy and I have had this type of conversation before. It was a little bit heavier with Jimbo because we were talking about subjects that were actually a lot heavier than what this situation is now. But knowing that Jon Moxley has to go through what he has to go through, which is rehab or whatever it is, his thought process or his neurons, his brain is firing off at a certain point to where it is necessary for you to have some type of dopamine in your vein, in your blood, in your whatever, psychology, whatever. There's something inside of him that feels like it needs this pull of this alcohol, the alcoholic beverages. He has this pull to where he has to have them all the time. And that, guys, okay, if you're an asshole and you're like, oh, well, you need to be Mr. Perfect no matter what, get the fuck out of here because nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And Jon Moxley's one of my favorite wrestlers, modern day pro wrestlers. He's one of my favorites. I actually enjoy Jon Moxley's wrestling. And I hope for him and his family that they're able to get through this. And when I say that, I don't mean that in a sense of it being look, I grew up around alcoholics. I grew up around drug addicts. It's fucking one of the most toughest things that you can do. especially if you're making money from it. I'm not saying that Moxley was making money from it, because he makes his money from wrestling. But I grew up around a bunch of people who made their money from selling drugs. And I didn't think that it was the smartest thing, but as I got older, I realized how complicated real life can be, and how you probably shouldn't judge people too quickly and too easily on the matter, because you never know what people are going through. You really do not know what people are going through. And then Tony Khan posted his tweet today talking about Jon Moxley dealing with his addiction issues. And you guys know this is a big topic that we do talk about here on the Just Jordane Show. Go back to all of our episodes. You'll be able to find them. The most important thing is we have to make sure that we are here to support each other, because that's all that we have, guys. We are all who we have. We don't have anything else. We have each other, and then that's fucking it. That's it. What's up, Allison? How you doing over there on the IG? How are you doing? Christopher Barclough, I wish I can be there. I wish you could be here as well, brother. Lori, yes, we have. Yes, you have. You have seen enough. You have seen enough, Lori, especially you and Rick. You and Rick have been able to see enough to understand what a lot of these wrestlers go through, especially whenever it comes to things that could make them an addict. And I don't necessarily like using that word for these types of conversations, because I don't believe that they're addicts. They may be. It always ends up being what you don't expect, what you do expect. Who knows? It does change. What's up, Allison? How you doing over there on the IG? And then now we're going to head on over here to Facebook, and we have Stephen Fowler. What's up, brother? I had to go through the same thing that Moxley is going through. It got to the point where it was unreal, and it can be dangerous. Never judge anyone, because you never truly know what anyone is going through. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, money is one thing. Okay, sure. Yeah, they're a wrestler that makes a lot of money. But you have to understand that they have a personality, or they have character flaws or personality flaws within themselves that can be detrimental to their future. That's how I view it. If you are doing things that are detrimental to your future, you have to fight forward. You have to fight past that, and you have to get through it. And thank you, Tara, for liking the page. Thank you, Tara. And Tara did just say, tuning in. Just tuning in. Thank you, Tara. We will be talking about the XPW episode, but I think that it's more important for us to talk about Jon Moxley going to rehab. And I've had multiple family members go to rehab, and I have the WWE thing since I was a contracted professional wrestler from the WWE. I have the option to be able to go to rehab, and I don't have to pay for it. WWE will pay for it if I'm in a situation to where I feel. And the WWE probably could be paying for his treatment, unless AEW is. Whoever wants to fit the bill, they're probably fighting each other over who wants to fit the bill, because I'm sure that Jon Moxley works for AEW, and AEW's like, we're going to fit the bill. But then WWE's like, no, fuck that. We're going to pay for your rehab, bro. We're going to pay for your rehab. But make sure you tell people. Make sure you tell people that we're paying for your rehab, bro. But fucking tell them, make sure that they know that we're doing it, because WWE does that type of shit. They do that type of shit. It is what it is. Cena Bun. You can say people who struggle with substance abuse, alternative to addictive, alternative to addict. Yes, Cena. Thank you for that, because you can say people who struggle with substance abuse, and there is a lot of people who struggle with substance abuse. I grew up with nothing but people who struggled with substance abuse all of their lives, and I've tried to keep a positive mindset and tried to keep myself in the most positive set that I could for this. But it's complicated, guys. It's very complicated, because Addiction takes control of people, and it takes control of their lives. And I'm not giving an excuse. Look, and I wish that I have Jimmy here, because Jimmy is he's a great devil's advocate, because he has the opposite opinion. I'm a little more lenient. I'm a little more soft, if you will. I know that addiction can grip some personality types, some people, and they can't do anything. There's nothing they can do about it. They want to, but they are controlled by this. And that is a horrible situation to be in. You do not want to be in it. I don't want to be in it. I know that it runs in my family. I know that addiction is a challenge that we all have to face. I know that it's a challenge that we all have to face, and we all have to do our best for it. But at the end of the day, you have to make your decisions. Christopher Barkloff, Jake the Snake Roberts, and Razor Ramon had the same problems. Christopher Barkloff, look, this is the professional wrestling business. There are you don't think Ric Flair has the same problem? You don't think that the fucking British Bulldogs had the same problem? You don't think that, I don't want it to come off like I'm coming from an holier than thou perception or perspective for what these guys are going through, because they are going through a lot, and it's fucking hard. It's a lot easier if you don't have an addictive personality. It really is. Definitely. But I do believe that it is up to you to make that final decision to either say yay or nay. You can say yay or nay. It's complicated and it's tough, but you do have the choice, and you have that choice to make the decision. Now, you may not even be aware that you have the choice, because that's how complicated life is. Life gets complicated. Christopher Barkloff, the British Bulldog, Lex Luger, Ric Flair, took drugs and drinking problems. Christopher Barkloff, brother. Guys, and I might be like the only pro wrestler that talks about it. I don't think that I am. I'm pretty sure that I'm not. I would hope that I'm not. But there's a big addiction problem in wrestling. There's a bunch of drug addiction problems. There's a bunch of problems going on in wrestling, previously and now, that people need to get a grip of before they let it control their lives. I am not against people having fun. Definitely go have fun. Do your thing. Do your thing. But at the end of the day, if there is a possibility that you are addicted and you can't stop yourself and it's affecting your everyday life, you need to do something about it, guys. You need to do something about it. So the Jon Moxley thing, the main thing I wanted to point out about that is that you shouldn't fucking judge people that easily, dude. Like, you really don't understand how hard life is, especially coming from a fucking poor family, a poor background. You never had shit. You don't have any mentors. You don't have anybody giving you any type of guidance. You don't have parents. You don't have anybody giving you any type of guidance. You're just going to shit on them because they made some mistakes. That's a horrible fucking way to live your life. Don't do that. Understand that people have problems. And these problems are stemmed from their past, from their history, from all of these different things. But guys, we have to make sure that you do not judge them for that. Because I would hate for somebody to judge me for my past. And my past isn't even in my own fault. It's because of my family. My family put me in these crazy situations that I had to try to get out of. But I had no idea about social media. I had no idea about any of this stuff. I had no idea about any of this stuff. And Christopher Barkloff says that steroids is the main problem in sports. I don't think that at all. I don't think that at all. Steroids is a medicine. Testosterone's a medicine. All of this stuff is a medicine. If you take it properly, you'll be okay. Maybe you'll die faster. Maybe you'll die earlier. There's a lot of bigger problems that you have to deal with these types of things. Steroids, definitely. But most wrestlers these days are not fucking dummies. We know better than the old guys from the 70s and 80s who thought they needed to get steroided up because Vince McMahon ran the fucking promotion and he heard the crowd react a certain way. Vince McMahon would hear the crowd react to a guy who was jacked and he'd be like, oh, I want guys who are jacked. And then all of a sudden, people thought that they could just talk about they thought that they could talk about Vince McMahon like he's gay. Oh, he's gay. He likes bodybuilders. When Vince McMahon's one of the greatest, prolific fucking promoters that has ever lived. Listen, Vince McMahon is one of the most prolific promoters who has ever lived. This motherfucker figured shit out. And sure, some of these steroid bodies looked good. Do you think that Vince McMahon was sitting around saying, oh man, get on steroids, I love it. No, he's just listening to the crowd, and the crowd reacts a certain way. If the crowd reacts a certain way, then good goddamn, maybe keep doing it, right? Maybe keep doing it. So that's how people figure things out. That's how they try to figure things out. So Vince McMahon's thinking this, I'm going to put him up. I'm going to put him on TV because these motherfuckers are getting a reaction. The fans, the crowd, love seeing a steroided up, jacked up motherfucker looking like he's about to fuck shit up. People love that shit. People fucking love it. But there's a balance, guys. There's a balance. You have to have, it's not healthy to be jacked up like that. I see some of my friends, I'm a professional wrestler, guys. I've been wrestling for 15 fucking years. I see some of my friends, and I'm like, God damn, bro, get off the gas. Get off the gas. It's too much. It's too fucking much. Relax, bro. Relax. But then I see them being advertised as, oh, look at this motherfucker from fucking Stone. He's a blah, blah. Come on, guys. Come on. These guys get on steroids, and then the promoters promote them as being these fucking supermen. And then they feel like they have to be on steroids for the rest of their fucking lives. They feel like they have to be because they're not athletic enough. They don't look good enough. They don't have any of these fucking things. Whatever these problems that wrestlers have, because guess what, guys? We have a lot of fucking mental issues too. Most wrestlers have a lot of fucking mental issues, and it's because we're in the public view, and these people will be like, why are you fat? Why you look fat? Why you look like this? Why you look like that? But you don't know. You never actually know what's the real truth. What's the real truth? You know, whenever you lose weight, if you gain a little bit of weight, but you lose a little bit of weight, you know that people say, oh, you look good. Oh, you look better. Yo, you're looking good. You're looking good. You're looking good. Is it just Vince McMahon, or is that just America? Or is that just people in general who are obsessed with fucking masculinity? Not even necessarily masculinity, because that is toxic masculinity, all that other bullshit. I get it. Societal politics and all this other good shit. Yeah, whatever. Fucking masculinity's bad. But at a certain point, you have to control masculinity and you have to control femininity. You have to control these two things. There's a balance, right, guys? Ooh, the yin and the yang. There's a balance. Too much of one thing's a bad thing. Too much of the other thing's a bad thing. So there's a balance. Where can we find that balance? That's what I'm asking. I'm not saying I know where the balance is. None of us actually knows where the balance is. And if they do claim that they know, they're full of fucking shit. They'll be just like Dr. Fauci talking about the COVID vaccines whenever he has beagles having their fucking eyeballs ripped out of their fucking sockets because he wants to do a scientific experiment. Google it. Google it. Please Google that if there's anything that you Google from this. But it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. You have to understand, most professional wrestlers, we're not trying to be fucking assholes. We're not trying to be bad guys. We don't want to be, We don't want to be steroid heads or any of that shit. But you have to understand that there are different pressures. There are different things. I was watching an interview with John Cena, and he was like, well, this is complicated. This is tough to talk about. Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to say whether I've done steroids or not, but you can't prove whether I did or not. Okay, goddamn. Goddamn. How old are you, bro? How old are you? We'll figure it out. I mean, Triple H was pretty easy to figure out, especially after that heart attack, right? Right? I'm sorry, guys. I get off on my tangents. Okay, I'm back. I promise I'm back. Okay, I'm gonna go to the comments and then we'll continue on. But you guys know I get fucking excited. I get excited for this shit because, goddamn, man, like let's just be fucking real here. Let's just be real here, because the WWE schedule. It could be argued that it is healthier for them to be on testosterone or Anavar or one of these lower level steroids just to be able to do that schedule, because that's a fucking hard schedule. It's not natural. It's not natural. None of this shit's natural, guys. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? That's all I want to know. What are we doing? Anyway, we'll go back to the chat, and I do have to pee, and then we'll be right back. So, I'm going to go on to, we'll go on to Instagram, and then we'll keep it going on. All right, Instagram, we got Fearless Musa. What's up, Fearless Musa? DKV saying facts. That man joined us. What's up, Nasty Leroy? How are you, brother? Cole Heather. Hey, Heather. Thank you for joining us, Heather. Thank you. I always love seeing love seeing your comments. I don't know what's happening, but preach. I'm sorry, Anna, or ANA99. Hey, it is what it is. I'm doing my best. She said, hey, Annie. Hey, Anna. Hey, Danny. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all keep it going. This is my bro, Paul. Yeah, DKV. Hey, brother. You got it, brother. You got it. We got on the subject. I didn't mean for us to go on this subject, but it is what it is. And, hey, I got to be real. I got to be what I am. I got to be who I am. I have decided. I've been in wrestling for fucking 16 years, and I ain't made as much money as I fucking planned on, and maybe I won't. Who cares? Maybe I won't, but at least I'm honest. At least I'm being real. Let's fucking be real, guys. This is my bro, Paul, Anna. Hey, thank you, brother. Put me over. Patricia, what's up, Patricia? And then I'm going to jump back over here to these comments. I do have to pee, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I have to pee so fucking bad. I'm going to go pee, and then we'll jump back on the comments, okay? I'm going to pee, and we'll BRB, and then we'll continue on. But we haven't got to the dark side of the ring yet, but we're going to get to the dark side of the ring. But I did have to, look, guys, like, if you're shitting on Jon Moxley because he's being honest, and he was like, no, it's okay for people to tell my story and relate, fuck you. Because I grew up around alcoholics. I grew up around addicts. I grew up around fucking white trash. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. You can call it whatever. Oh, my jokes. You're a racist dumbass if you're saying white trash. You're all fucking dummies. Everybody's fucking dummies. We're all fucking dummies. I'm saying I'm a dummy too, guys. Guess what? I'm a dummy too. It's not about that. Go deeper. It's about us being humans. We have to support each other. We have to care about each other. Just a fucking little bit, right? Just a little bit. Because this shit will grab you and fucking take you and you can't control it. I've seen it all my goddamn life, guys. I'm trying to tell you. I'll be right back, though. Hashtag IHTP. I will BRB. Y'all know that. And then we'll get into the dark side of the ring. I promise. We'll get into the dark side of the ring after this. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for making everybody wait so long. Nasty Leroy, WWE has unnatural schedule. That is probably one of the best points that anybody could make whenever they're talking about different things and, whatever the case may be. I think that Nasty Leroy has a phenomenal point, though. I think he has a really good point, though, because that schedule is crazy. The schedule is crazy. Every time I see it, it's crazy. Christopher Barclough, I agree with you, buddy. Hulk Hogan, Superstar Billy Graham, Randy Savage, Bruno. I don't know about Bruno, though, bro. Bruno was adamant until the day he died that he wasn't on anything. He might have been genetics, and he wasn't too into anything else. So maybe he was. You're right about that, though. Chris Benoit had problems. No, Chris Benoit's a completely different story than what we're talking about, I think, in my opinion. The media goes after wrestling for steroid use instead of other sports promotions. I think that they do go after other sports promotions as well, but WWE is very easy to go after, and most wrestling companies are easy to go after. It's just like the whenever they were trying to get Vince McMahon in trouble for running the WWE, they were trying to say that he was giving his wrestlers steroids, but I'm sure like all of his wrestlers were probably on steroids before he got to the WWE. I mean, that's like number one. Like, if you're a wrestling fan, you probably know that, like, okay, Vince McMahon probably wasn't selling steroids to these guys because they were on steroids before they even got to the WWE. So it's like, what the fuck, bro? Like, who cares, But they do go after wrestling, and I get that. Christopher Barclough, you're right. 365 years. Yep. You got it, brother. Tyann said, hi. What's up, Tyann? How are you? Christopher Barclough, I'm great. I'm glad that you agree. Facts, DKV. DKV, you know how it is, brother. You know how it is. But you know how I be going off on people. You know how tonight's a rant night, and I had to rant. I had to go on one of my rants. I had to do what I had to do. It is what it is. I am what I am. I'm not saying that I'm not. I understand that, I am who I am. All right, now let's see if I can find this. Okay, let me go back to the comments real quick so I can make sure that we got everything here because it looks like missing a couple of them. So, Cinnabon, that's a great name, by the way. Is it necessary for athletes to take steroids? If they are naturally good at what they do, then why do they take the steroids? So when it comes to different athletes competing with each other, you'll have different levels. And then once you have these levels who are natural, who are at the top level, what if one of these top level guys decide to take something that is going to give them an advantage? Well, if you're the other guy, are you going to let that happen? Or are you going to be like, fuck that shit, I'm going to go after him? Because here's the thing. Now you have to weigh the cost-benefit analysis. And you have to understand that, okay, if I just yell about them being a cheater, more than likely they're going to get away with it. More than likely they'll maybe go after them after everything's done. But they ain't going to ruin the whole event just because these two top-tier athletes are and one of them lost because one of the others were on some type of performance-enhancing drug. So, Cinna, I don't think that it's a good thing, but I definitely understand why they would do it. I get that. I get why they would do it. And it's like I said, like I will see certain friends and I will be disappointed and frustrated with them because I understand that wrestling's different though. Wrestling is very different though. It's hard to explain it from wrestling because it's more aesthetics and you want to look good. And it does help your performance and it does help you heal and all those other good things. But at a certain point, it's detrimental because when you are doing PEDs, it enlarges your heart, not necessarily your actual heart, but the heart valves to where it can't regulate the amount of blood that it's pumping through your system. Eddie Guerrero died of an enlarged heart, which could be assumed that it was from performance-enhancing drugs. Now, did he do it the right way or the right way that we have nowadays? Because nowadays you have doctors. Back in the day, you had doctors too, but then there was a point whenever they made everything so illegal, you couldn't really even go to a doctor about that stuff. But now it seems like it's kind of coming back to the point to where people can do that. R.I.P. Eddie. R.I.P. Eddie 100%. Love Eddie Guerrero, guys. You guys gotta put your respect out there for a good old Eddie Guerrero. I know we all love Eddie Guerrero. And that was a sad day. Eddie Guerrero passing was definitely a sad day. But hopefully, now that we are way more informed than we used to be in the past, hopefully we will be able to circumvent these types of situations and stop it from happening, whether our wrestlers are actually on something or not, or if they were on it for a little while and then they changed. So hopefully guys, we're getting the business to a better point, but it's complicated. Everything's complicated. You can't necessarily tell it all. Christopher Barclough, I would never disagree with pro wrestlers. I don't want to get suplexed through a table. You can disagree with me, brother. You can disagree with me. I won't suplex through you. I won't suplex you through a table, but that's only because you're not here in front of me. 365 days worth of traveling from state to state, country to country. The British Bulldog passed away from an enlarged heart. So did Eddie. I don't remember what Mr. Perfect passed away from, but I do know that we do have a lot of deaths. Maybe not directly attributed to performance enhancing drugs, but there could be. I mean, I don't know the science. I'm not a doctor nor a scientist, so I don't know the studies. Possibly. I think possibly, yeah. I think that the Chris Benoit thing probably happened just because of his mental disabilities, though. That probably was going to happen. But I do understand people's want and need to feel like they need to get into it and see what's going on with it. See if they could figure out what was going on with it. But it's just one of those things where, life is tough, life is complicated. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do and what can you do? Hold on, let me see here. Now I'm losing my freaking page. I lost my page. All right, just give me a sec and then we will get on to the dark side of the ring. We should be good. What's up, Heather? How are you? How you doing over there, Heather, in Instagram land? On old Instagram land. Old Instagram land. All right, let me see if I can find a little piece for you. Nope, no, not happening. Not happening. So we're not going to get the internet on for you guys. I was going to put the link up, but looks like the link ain't happening, so it is what it is. What are we going to do? copy that one and then put it onto over here, and then maybe that'll work. We'll see. Well, we got both of those up now. Boom. Not working. All right, one more try, and then if I can't get it on here, that's okay, guys. You're just going to have to deal with it not being able to see it, but I will read it to you, and then we will get it knocked out, and we will get this rocking and rolling, if you will. If you will, baby daddy, if you will. We want window capture. We'll do the shred shed. That's fine. Nope, not working. Oh, well. So we'll go on, though. Dark Side of the Ring remembers the time that pornographers ran a wrestling company. Okay, guys, this is going to be exciting. A pornographer ran a wrestling company. It's hard to imagine a more perfect topic for Dark Side of the Ring than Extreme Pro Wrestling, the independent wrestling promotion from around the turn of the millennium that took the ethos of the mid-90s ECW and the WWF's Attitude Era and added some more element. That was essentially operated as a West Coast offshoot of Extreme Associates, a porn production company. But once ECW got a TV deal, XPW was left on their own. I guess they were working together, and then eventually Paul Heyman was like, man, I ain't going to work with y'all. Sure, WWE had Val Venus, a character who was supposed to be a porn star, but XPW, who was run by actual real-life pornographers. The episode Extreme and Obscene, Rob Black's XPW, goes through the whole sordid story of XPW, which featured some memorable wrestling from ECW veterans, but collapsed relatively quickly amid all sorts of legal woes. And here's the thing, guys. This episode was hard to get through because it wasn't about wrestling. It was about pornographers trying to get into wrestling. And they were the shits. They were all the drizzling shits. The only ones who were actually good were the actual ECW wrestlers. Everybody else was bullshit. It was all bullshit. I guess he tried to hire porn stars to be a part of the company, and then he thought that they would be like draws or some shit like that, but it just wasn't working. It just never actually worked. So I doesn't make sense to me. But XPW was founded by Rob Zicari, also known as Rob Black, who had been a porn business entrepreneur for a while before turning to wrestling. Extreme Associates porn was on the subversive side. Even by the standards of the time, the sexual content in XPW made the lowest moments of sexism in the Attitude Era look like nothing. Rob Black also did the Vince McMahon, Eric Bischoff thing, in which he both owned the company and played an on-air camera villain. And there wasn't exactly a firewall between the two companies. They shared an office with employees of the wrestling company sharing a workspace with nude adult performers. Dave Marquez, the guy who produced XPW's TV shows, a guy with an award-winning news background, was asked to edit adult videos with some extremely questionable subject. Indeed, wrestling has a long history of being sleazy and disreputable. But it's not that bad. Wrestling is wrestling, but it's not that bad. Come on, guys. It's not fucking porn. Don't be assholes here. Don't be shitting on us. And if you don't believe me, I invite you to watch all the Dark Side of the Ring up to this point. But if you watch the but that's fucking horseshit too, guys. That's bullshit too, because everybody's got a dark side. Everybody's got a dark side. Everybody does. Everybody does. That's not majority of people's experiences in professional wrestling. There's a few people who did have some very bad situations, and goddamn, I would pray that they would never have to deal with anything like that. But at a certain point, wrestling's not as bad as people try to build it up to be. They try. Small-time indie wrestling, even more so. But not many federations have been quite so mafia-like as illustrated in the incident when wrestlers known as Messiah had his thumb cut off by assailants in an assault, the documentary implies, was done by Rob Black's direction. They make it sound like it there was. There are some fun details, including New Jack was given hundreds of porn DVDs by the company. New Jack, who died in May, is interviewed on camera with the episode dedicated to his memory. We also learned that the company very much illegally forged insurance documents for at least one event. It might have been wise for that guy to check on California's statute of limitations for insurance fraud before admitting to that on camera. Black and Borden did not participate in the documentary, and we quickly realized why. While Black was never charged in connection with either the thumb assault or insurance fraud. What's up, Aladdin? How are you? We got a lot going on here. You have to pay attention, though. I can't put it on the screen, but we're going to keep it going. But he was prosecuted by the federal government on obscenity charges. After publicly challenging then Attorney General John Ashcroft to come after him, this put him in league with the likes of Hugh Hefner, Larry Flint, and Al Goldstein. No, it didn't. It just put him in the league of them because he was saying it, not because he was actually doing it. Other pornographers turned free speech martyrs. Whoa, I want the free speech. I want to show this girl's butthole. In Black's case, he likely did much worse stuff than produce bad pornography. The prosecution left Black and Borden unable to continue XPW. They ultimately served a year each in prison, but in shocking twist ending, it turns out Rob Black is now running a hamburger stand and is happily married with kids. And he's probably going to do another wrestling match. He probably has done another wrestling event. And that was it. That was all we got from that one. But that's not necessarily... I mean, that is what we get from that, but there wasn't much going on with it. Stephen Fowler. That goes back to Moxley and his alcohol issues. That's his dark side of the ring. That's his dark side as well as it was for me. I'm sorry that is a dark side for you, Stephen. That is a very easy dark side for most people, though, bro. That's a very easy dark side for most people. That's why when I saw the tweet from Tony Khan this morning, I was like, man, fuck. I hate it. Because, man, this shit's tough. Life is tough enough as it is. And then you have all these different pressures. And then you get into the habit of having alcohol comfort you or relax you at nighttime. It takes a toll, man. It takes a toll. And it's tough. And I don't want to change anything that we have been preaching here on this show. This show is about supporting each other and making sure that we're doing to the best of our abilities what we can to try to be as positive as we can. Christopher Barkloff, I'm afraid to bring this up on here. You didn't even say anything. You just said that, brother. Stephen Fowler. Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, man, like that's the thing though, dude. Like we're all trying to get through life. And we only have maybe 70 to 90 years. Okay, maybe you'll make it over 100, maybe you'll die at 60. 70 to 90 years to be able to live our lives to the absolute fullest and try to do everything that you want to do, possibly. There's a bunch of pitfalls that can happen into that catches you by surprise, and you don't even realize it. You don't even realize it until sometimes it's too late, but hopefully for Moxley, it's not too late. Hopefully for most people who are smart enough, who are capable enough, who are whatever the words is, you have the wherewithal to realize that you do have a problem and you want to fix it. That's the biggest challenge that there is. Admitting you have a problem and then facing the facts that you have to fix it. That's one of the toughest things that you can do in life. But we have to respect the fact that even Moxley, being a celebrity, being someone who is in the public eye, admitted that he has flaws He has things that he needs to work on, and he's going to work on that. And going into one of these substance abuse clinics or whatever they are, it's not easy. Especially if you've been living your life. Oh, sorry, guys. I am sleepy. I lose time. But it's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's one of the toughest things that you can do, especially whenever you realize you have a problem and nobody else does. I had no idea. I'm not like a giant wrestling fan nowadays. I don't really give a shit about anybody nowadays. They're my peers. Why do I care? I care enough, but I'm not worried about my peers. They need to take care of themselves. But at a certain point, if I do understand and realize or hear that some of my peers are doing bad or not in the right mindset, not in the right anything, it does make me feel like we need to at least have a conversation about it. Because us having a conversation, though it does seem like it's just me and you, we do have a lot more people who do watch the show, and they watch it later on, and they watch it whenever they have time, or whatever the case may be. I understand that, and I get that, and I accept that, and I don't want anything. This is what I want. I love this show, and I have a blast doing it. But I also want to make sure that we understand that we are supporting each other, and we're trying to do our best to make sure that when we are going through a hard time, we have a good support system here. Like you guys know, I lost a family member last month. I'm going to say last month. It was actually last week. But it's a lot easier to say that type of stuff. Christopher Barclough, I'm afraid to bring this up on here. That's okay. You don't have to bring up anything on here, Christopher Barclough. You can hit me up on the DMs, or you can just keep it to yourself. At the end of the day, you have to do what keeps you comfortable and what makes you happy. So do what you do, Christopher Barclough. If you have something to say it, and I'll be able to transmit it, and hopefully I'll be able to put it in words to where it has more of a positive connotation, or I can find the positive light in what your story is to help. Hopefully I could help you, but hopefully I could help other people as well who understand your story and where you're coming from, because none of us know exactly where any of us are coming from. We all come from different walks of life, different areas on the earth, different experiences that make us who we are. And it gets complicated sometimes. It definitely gets complicated. And you don't want to push out too far in one direction or the other, because then you're going to be alienating yourself. And I understand that. I get it. But I also understand the fact that we do have to be here for each other, guys. We do have to be here for each other. We have to make sure that we support each other, and we were here. Cinnabons. Honestly, when I think of wrestling, I think about porn. I don't know why. It's not that far off. It's not that far off. If we're being honest, if we're being real, it's not that far off. It's not that far off. It's helping people live their fantasies vicariously through you and the actions that you take. So porn stars take the actions of fulfilling fantasies that people have, and porn stars will fulfill those fantasies. And that's great. That's a great feeling. That's a wonderful feeling, you know, people like to jack off to it. But then professional wrestling also has stories. We have storylines. We have men and women. Now we have women who aren't just tits and ass. We have men and women who are talented, who can show that they can be heroes in a certain situation, which is professional wrestling. So you want to be a hero in professional wrestling. So we are we are purveying the fantasies of the majority. We are trying to have people live vicariously through us. That's what we want. We want people to live vicariously through us. And that's complicated to do because if you're not that good at it, people see right through it. They'll be like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. But sometimes you do. But Cinnabon, that's a really good point because I have a lot of friends who've told me the same type of thing. So you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. Christopher Barclough. My dad had a drinking issue. My dad had a drinking problem. Oh, welcome to the club, fam. Welcome to the club. Now, I don't know my biological father. Don't know who that is. No clue. Not a clue. Not even interested in finding out who it is. But I have dealt with stepdads, uncles, and men who were older than me who did have a drinking problem. And now I deal with young men who are younger than I am, who do have a drinking problem, and they do have substance abuse problems and those types of things. And I do try to talk to them about the path that they're leading themselves on, because eventually something has to give. You're not going to be able to live like this forever, and that's the complicated thing. You want to live like that forever, but you can't. You can't. It's not possible. Your biology it's just not built for it. It's really not built for it. And it's one of those things that I was afraid to mention it. It's okay, Christopher. I understand. I was afraid of mentioning a lot of things about my personal life when I first started the show. But now we're on 140. I'm getting to the point to where I am comfortable enough to tell you guys almost anything, really. I'm getting to the point to where I'm really comfortable talking to you guys about almost anything. And this is what I want this channel to be. This is what I want Paul Jordane to be about. This is what I want Endgame Jordane to be about, because I looked up to a bunch of different professional wrestlers, and a lot of them have kept me on track because they have podcasts, they have all of these different things. All of my favorite wrestlers, and I am so lucky that they have their own podcasts, and they are not shitty people, and they do their thing, man. They do their thing, and it still motivates me to this day. So I understand, Christopher Barclough, that you were saying that your father had a drinking problem, but my mom had a drinking problem. All of my stepdads had drinking problems. They had drug problems. My mom had a drug problem. Majority of my family had these types of problems. They had these types of problems. So here in this chat group, and on this line, on the Jordane line, I don't want you to feel like you are in any type of way different or anything, because yeah, man, you're dealing with the same type of shit I dealt with, that a lot of our people that have dealt with in the chat, and it's just one of those things that I think that you should keep yourself positive. So in conclusion, we'll wrap it up here. In conclusion, XPW as a wrestling company, the drizzling shits. They were the shits, man. They were the shits. The only thing that I cared about was New Jack throwing Vick Grimes off of the fucking platform and almost killing him, even though he looked kind of like he landed safely. Maybe I'm wrong. But wrestling is a work, guys. Wrestling is a work. Maybe not always, but a lot of times it is. And for my final thoughts here, I want us to understand that we all go through struggles. Whatever the struggle it is that you have to go through, do not be embarrassed by it, because we're humans. We're just these mammalian monkeys running around trying to tell each other that we know better than everybody else, because we want to feel important. And social acuity, social approval will make us feel that way. And that's the game that I play. I'm looking for social approval. But we are always looking for some type of approval from mostly humans, in a sense, people that you like, and those types of things. But at the end of the day, what really matters most is your mental health, your physical health, and how you're getting through your days. So, guys, I want you guys to be fucking good, man. I want you guys to be so good. And I want to be good too. And I'm doing my best to try to make myself the best that I can be. And I want you guys to be the best that you can be. And I love you guys. I hope you all have a good night. I'm going to jump to the comments one last time, and then we're going to jump off here. I will be off tomorrow. I might do a surprise episode. I don't know. I have to figure out my schedule for tomorrow. I have a job that's a lot later. It might take away my wrestling training for tomorrow, so we'll figure that out when the time comes. But either way, guys, pay attention. Friday night, we definitely going to be having a show Friday night. Last Friday, I wanted to pass out. I needed to sleep. I needed to rest. That is what I had to do. Now, we're good to go, guys. I love you all. I hope you all have a good night. I will see you all next time. Friday, that is, boys. Friday.